Welcome back to the channel, guys. And of course, yes guys, Lewis Hamilton can very much single-handedly save Ferrari with the all-new idea that he has proposed. And although it is no new idea, i.e. he wants to completely reboot the F40 in a complete modern, guys, while of course retaining its complete raw driver-focused ethos that it properly had all the way back in 1987. But of course, this is no new idea, as of course in November of 2024, the complete proper November issue of Top Gear magazine itself, i.e. the main cover of it, had a proper picture of a complete proper rebooted F40 on its own. But of course that was under no official proper opinion. That was just Top Gear taking a shot in the dark. Meanwhile, now in this complete proper present day and age, Lewis Hamilton has actually properly pitched this idea to Ferrari, and they are actually very much considering it to properly bring it to fruition on its own. And although, as I said, it's no new idea, he wants to name it the F44, i.e. 44 being his racing number and all. And of course this will not be his first ever rodeo in terms of designing a proper supercar slash hypercar with a complete hypercar or proper supercar marquee altogether, whereas of course he has done that previously with Mercedes by properly coming up with the king of the ring, i.e. the AMG one. But nevertheless, coming to the F44, as I said, it's nothing new, but the main pièce de résistance is the fact that he wants it to incorporate not a flappy paddle gearbox but a good old fashioned manual transmission, his exact words being an actual stick shift on its own. And he is very much properly focusing on bringing this vision to reality along with Ferrari across the next couple of years, alongside of the fact that he is probably going to be locking in to properly clinch that 8th title on its own. And of course us Lewis Hamilton fans are all here for it. And of course he began his complete proper tenure with Ferrari with his first day properly being taken in a proper badass shot on its own, with him posing like a proper gangster right out of Peaky Blinders in front of one of the most iconic proper locations of all time, with one of the most iconic supercars of all time, which is apparently his dream car slash favorite car of all time. And well, in terms of the tech and in terms of cars, he is quite the man of culture on its own, alongside his complete proper fashion sense. But nevertheless, guys, if Ferrari actually does this, it will properly chuck them back to a complete proper state of actually being liked by people on its own. I mean, of course, in recent line of decisions being made by Ferrari with the complete F80 and the dirty Cilindri, where of course those two cars are just complete unworthy pieces of junk on its own in terms of their complete predecessors. And of course I've made the respective videos on those two cars, so of course check them out. But nevertheless, guys, if a proper manual F40 complete successor was made in this day and age, it would break the internet and the car world on its own, and it would definitely drive demand on a whole other level, meaning they can very much price it much higher than that of the F80, which is priced at $4 million. But nevertheless, guys, the fact that this is actually being considered by Ferrari is such a huge proper insane development, and for the fact that they've got Lewis Hamilton as their complete proper researcher slash developer to help them in bringing this to reality, well, they cannot screw it up anymore. And of course that is with the fact that they do not use the same design language that they've used with the F80 and the dirty Cilindri, so of course fingers crossed on that. But nevertheless, guys, I mean, it's such a proper cool idea to properly bring about a successor of the F40 is no easy feat, though, seeing as to the fact that it was quite the complete widowmaker of its day, with a 2.9 liter twin turbocharged V8 chucking out 478 horsepower and 577 newton meters of torque, with the power going to the rear wheels, 1100 kilograms dry. And of course with it being one of the first ever road going production cars to feature a complete carbon fiber body and carbon fiber tub. So in terms of its complete tech back in the day of 1987, it was quite the proper legend on its own, and of course has lived up to that name across the years towards the present. But nevertheless, guys, it is also not only a proper icon but remains the final Ferrari to be personally approved by old man Ferrari himself just a year before Enzo's passing, meaning it stands to quite a lot of lineage on its own. But of course, guys, to bring it back in this modern day and age with a manual with new gen tech, I mean, of course, with the fact that they do use a V8 on its own, I mean, with the fact that Lewis exactly said that he wants to make an F40 successor or a proper Ferrari with the proper baseline of an F40, well, that would only mean that they would have to incorporate a V8, right? Nevertheless, that's up to Ferrari, and of course, hopefully they don't screw up the design, and well, the only right choice is to put in a twin turbo V8. But nevertheless, guys, a proper mind-boggling decision on its own. And of course, on the racing side, all the best to Lewis on his 8th title clinching. And well, what do you guys think? Comment below. And well, thanks for watching. Remember to that sub button and click the bell to ensure you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.